Are we recording? I think we are. Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn, the cosplayer from Seattle, and I am finally back after a 7-month break to do another YouTube video. Because no, I have not quit cosplaying or going to conventions. I have not quit YouTube. I have not, changed my entire face and look. I'm still pretty much the same Lynn. But a lot of stuff has happened in the past 7 months, which is why I haven't been doing YouTube. Now, originally I wanted to come on here and just jump right back into doing cosplay videos, but I thought it would be better to do kind of a little review of my past year so you guys know where I've been and kind of my mindset. And I've also always talked to people about being honest with what's going on in their life and how it affects their hobbies, because in the cosplay community, we are only shown people's perfect lives where they are constantly working on new things. They always have projects, they always have somewhere they're going, and cosplay is like the #1 thing in their life. And I have always tried to push against that because I think that that sets such an unfair expectation for cosplayers when that is not always 100% the case. And in fact, most cosplayers will have off years where they don't even do cosplay, make it or buy it, or they're not able to go to events, but they're still making it, but they're not showing that because they're not going anywhere. So here is my story. Here's what's going on. Okay, so the last time you guys saw me on here was in early April when I was getting super pumped and excited for SoccerCon 2022. There are several reasons for this. The first reason being that SoccerCon was my very first convention I ever went to in 2008. So this was my 15th anniversary of ever going to a cosplay convention, my 15th anniversary of going to SoccerCon, and it was also SoccerCon's 20th overall anniversary, so this was going to be like a pretty big blowout. It was also post-COVID, so, we're having a larger turnout than the years before. There's more stuff that you can do, and there's just kind of like this overall feeling of like anticipation and excitement, which I am so glad to say was 100% worth it. It was an incredible convention. I had some of the best conversations with random strangers that I've ever had before there. Me and my husband, as I said in my past video, dressed up as Holo and Lawrence from Spice and Wolf, which is a very important anime to us because it's one of my spouse's favorite animes. And we had so many people that wanted to come up and talk to us and pose with us and take pictures with us about those costumes because they had just announced that they were going to be doing a sequel or reboot of Spice and Wolf. So it's on like a lot of people's minds. So it was kind of just like this huge clash of all these amazing things that were happening at the same time. I also turned 30 in May, so coming up before my 30th birthday, I started to reflect back a lot on my life, especially being a teenager up until now, because I guess like being 30, I'm supposed to be a real adult or something. Honestly, I don't really feel much different. I feel pretty much the same. But it is a really good chance to reflect back at how much I've grown, like as an artist, as a creator, as a cosplayer, how conventions themselves have changed since then, which eventually I will be doing a video on every change I've noticed has happened in the past 15 years of conventions. So if that interests you, please come back and watch that video when I do it. So anyway, SoccerCon was just really incredible. I was so thankful to be there, and it was just, I don't know, there was some sort of magical fairy dust vibe in the air. Like I felt people were just happier in general to be there and be out with the cosplay community. So it was just a really cool event. So anyways, leading into summer, I was in this great mood, adventurous, excited, just really happy. And then in July, on my way to a camping trip weekend, literally on a Friday after work, my car got hit and completely totaled, as in not liable at all for the accident, but now I don't have a car. And as anyone knows who's had to deal with the business world post-COVID, it seems like everything is moving at a snail's pace compared to the past. So something that probably should have taken, 4 weeks to settle literally took months. And so for months I was in a state of anxiety and stress, just hoping I could figure out the rental car situation, getting paid out for my old car situation, having to go buy a new car. There was just a lot of not happiness that was thrown into my life that I just had to deal with. And it was kind of interesting too, because it's not that I necessarily stopped doing cosplay or stopped working on projects, but I would mostly just work on things that made me happy and kind of like an escape from real life, versus working on things that would take a lot of brain power and money, because like that was the last thing that I had in those moments. So again, this is why I want to talk about these things, because I want to normalize them in our community. You are not always going to be the crazy cosplay powerhouse that you are now. There will be off years. There will be things in your life that you deal with that are more important than cosplay, and that's okay. It doesn't make you any less of a cosplayer. It doesn't make you fall behind in your community. Like, that's just life. Life gets in the way sometimes. So in that time period, I actually did end up going to SummerCon, which I think was in August, I want to say. And although SummerCon has been fun the past couple years, it is quite a smaller convention, and there's a lot less to do there than I'm used to at the bigger conventions. So I dressed up in my regular Aubrey outfit. I went about there. It was okay. We went to a really fun panel that actually had the voice actor of Goofy and other Disney voice actors, and that was really cool to be like, whoa, I'm, sitting in the same vicinity as this very famous person that I've watched since I was really young, so that kind of blew my mind a little bit. And we also got to meet the voice of Lawrence from Spice and Wolf, who is also in a bunch of other stuff, like so much stuff. If you watch X-Holic, if you watch Attack on Titan, like all these different things. So it was really cool. We actually got to shake his hand and talk to him like face to face. That was incredible. Really good memories. Then in early September, as a surprise, I bought tickets to PAX West for my husband because we had never been before, and it was always something I secretly wanted to do for us to like go experience together. My husband is very, very, very much into PC gaming, and both of us are into console gaming. So, it was something that like I had heard about this magical PAX event ever since I was a young teenager, and now I was making it a reality. Unfortunately, I am just going to be very honest here. I did not enjoy PAX pretty much at all. I cannot believe the amount of money I spent to go based on the experience I had, and I won't be going again. And I will eventually do a review video where I talk about my experience going. So again, stick around if you're interested or curious. So after PAX, we had a really fun trip looking forward. I had booked us a trip we had booked together, me and my spouse. Instead of going during our normal wedding anniversary, we decided to take our wedding anniversary and experience it earlier. So instead of mid-November, we decided to go in late October and book a trip to Scotland. And I know that sounds really random, but I have always dreamed of going to Edinburgh because of Harry Potter. Both me and my husband are huge, huge Harry Potter fans. We watch the movies every year. We have decorations at home and collectibles and like all this stuff. And I had always known that Edinburgh was going to be a really cool place to go to, considering that J.K. Rowling wrote the books there. A lot of the area was actually used like in her writings. And while we were there, I took us on a really fun Harry Potter tour where we actually had a woman who had a PhD in studying Harry Potter take us around and explain all the significant areas. And we got to pose in front of like the old gravestones that have very character related names in them, and it was just a really cool trip. It was a ton of work, it was a ton of money, and for anyone that has had to travel across time zones, it is fairly exhausting, I'm not gonna lie, but it was a really good trip. However, as soon as we got back from Scotland, my husband got COVID, which I had a feeling he had picked up on our trip because he wasn't feeling so well the last day we were there. And by the time we got home, he was full-blown sick, tested positive for COVID. And a few days later, I tested positive as well. So pretty much for a few weeks, we just like stayed inside. I ordered grocery delivery. We watched a ton of Netflix. We watched a ton of movies. We mostly just like slept because we weren't feeling well. And yeah, it felt kind of like wasting a very large portion of my time. I could have been doing something else fun. And in that amount of time, unfortunately, before our trip, I thought I was going to get to experience Halloween that year. So for Halloween, I had created one of my dream cosplays, which is Lady Amalthea from The Last Unicorn. So I created like a unicorn horn tiara. I actually took like a cheap Amazon lilac dress and I altered it into her dress just to make it a little bit easier on myself with the trip and everything. And then unfortunately, coming back right before Halloween, finding out I had COVID and I couldn't do anything, it is now still sitting in my closet and has yet to be worn. So it's kind of funny how life comes in the way of cosplay, but it's not like a creative person never really stops creating. Even if you're not working on costumes, you might be working on something else. My husband is very much into perler beads right now. He works on perler beads whenever he's bored or has free time or sees a project idea he likes. For myself, I like to do a lot of like sketching, a lot of drawing. Sometimes I'll just do random crafts like Christmas crafts with, Christmas coming up. I'll put together like decorations for the house or, whatever it may be. So this is all to say that I am still here. I still plan to do YouTube videos. I still plan to do cosplay. And in fact, I have many, many ideas because in all this amount of time where I haven't been on here actually talking, I have been typing up tons of notes for all these great ideas I have. So if you watched my other videos and you liked my reviews, if you liked my, juicy, spicy cosplay subjects where we talk about really controversial things, I'm going to be doing more of those. I have reviews on websites that I have bought from that I want you guys to know if I liked or didn't like them. And I also have just a lot of project ideas coming up that I'm probably going to start for upcoming Emerald City and SoccerCon. So I'm going to try to do some videos where I just, talk about what I'm doing and, what's coming up and stuff like that. So anyways, happy, very belated Thanksgiving. Happy almost Christmas, guys. Please come back. I will see you here soon. Have fun doing your cosplay stuff and have a good night. All right, bye.